So going to that, you guys recently discovered something that is really fascinating: the TLS black market, the encryption, decryption key black market. And for some of the people who may not understand what that means, would you care just kind of explaining how you guys kind of found that bombshell of what's supposed to make me and you and everyone else feel really safe online? Your website's encrypted, your information's encrypted, and really there's a black market, with the decryption keys out there that people can buy and really just decrypt data in a heartbeat minute.
Right.
I mean,
So essentially what we found was that there are people out there in the darknet, on underground markets that sell certificates, EV, DV, OV certificates. The certificates, the whole point of the certificates is to really allow traffic to be encrypted between the server and the computer that talks to it. And there are different level of certifications. They have the DV, the OV, and the EV. The EV is the highest level of certification. It essentially suggests that the certifying authorities really check, who you are before they grant you that certificate. So if you're saying that you're Facebook and you want to encrypt the traffic that comes in and out from your server to your client, you're going to talk to those EV certificates. You will purchase the certificate. Essentially what will happen is that the authorities will verify that the server is yours, that you are who you say you are, that the company is real, and so on and so forth. What we found is that there are people out there that are willing to sell EV certificates without really verifying that you are who you say you are. And that is what is so earth-shaking in our opinion. Those TLS certificates are supposed to make sure that you're talking to a website. When you're a client, you're talking to a website that you can trust. It should increase your level of trust in the vendor that you're going to his website. And we found that the bad guys found a way to mess around with that. That is essentially what the finding is all about. And unfortunately, I can't talk a whole lot about some of the ways that the vendors and the people that we sort of talk to online actually do that. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that, in August after we, launch our second report.
Right.
But to us, what was really interesting was the existence of this market. The fact that people are interested in those certificates. We know from talking to the vendors that that they made thousands of sales. So there's interest in those certificates for different purposes. And we can talk about it later if you want.
I mean, here's where I see the purpose for this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, when some of our listeners may not be, they're just starting their career in cyber, they don't understand it. But if you're spoofing a website and you're able to buy one of these certificates to give you the complete illusion that you are really on this website, I mean, that's the danger of this, right? I mean, that's the practical, everyday danger to every person is you can land on a website that looks like your bank, feels like your bank, looks a domain very, very similar to your bank. But really, it's a spoofed website by a hacker who's now getting all your information and could be draining your bank account and you wouldn't even know it.
So
in theory.
In theory, right now, we have to make sure that we understand that it's very difficult to get the a spoofed website for Bank of America, because the certifying authorities and the individuals that will essentially grant you the TLS certificates, they are aware of those potential scams, and if you contact the vendors and ask them to provide an EV certificate or even the green bar to your spoofed Bank of America website, it'll be very difficult to do that.
But if you're able to buy that EV certificate through the dark web,
but even through the darknet, and again, hopefully in the second report we will explain how these guys are doing this, and that'll make more sense. Even through the darknet, it's very, very difficult to get the EV certificate for a spoofed Bank of America website. But what's easy to do, and that's what we showed, what's easy to do is to put together your own bank website or your own
social
network, your own website that allows you to transfer money from one person to another, your own casino, right? And get those EV certificates. That is what is so interesting. The certifying authorities essentially will not want to support these kind of operations, and we found that the vendors on the DarkNet, they are able to do that, and so that's why I think the research is so interesting.